Okay, so we're going to play a game. It's called Who, What, Where.
Ooh.
Basically, you pick either a who or a what or a where. And then the other person has 5 questions to try and get it right.
Damn.
But the questions aren't just yes and no. You can literally ask whatever question you want. And one question is like a free question. You get it free. You can ask, is it a who, what, where? So you know which one it is.
So
to
we've got
make
6
it
in total, yeah?
a bit easier.
Yeah,
6.
okay.
I've only picked 2.
Oh, no, I mean questions that we can ask. That is it.
Yeah,
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
I only picked 2 as well. I was going to be here all day. Jeez, no, I'm good.
Okay, I'll go first.
Are you asking me or I'm asking you?
You ask me questions.
I'm asking you questions.
Yes, I've got my thing. To be honest, I should have probably researched it a bit more.
Yeah, me too. No, I know these ones. I know these ones.
Okay.
This one good.
Ask away.
All right.
You're
cool.
asking me, yeah?
I'm asking you. Yeah, I
got
understand
my
the
thing
premise.
in my head.
I understand the premise.
got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
it.
cool.
So, is it who, what, or a where?
It's a where.
It's a where place. Is it a place we've been?
No.
It's not a place we've been.
You got 4 questions left,
Oh
girl.
shit! Damn.
That was a good one though.
Is it a place we would want to go? Is it like a luxurious place?
Yes.
Oh, is it in like the Caribbean?
No.
No. Ooh, damn.
You got 2 questions left.
Got 2 questions. Oh, fuck, man, this goes
You can
quick.
ask, it doesn't have to be yes or no.
Oh,
It could be like explain like. I'm not gonna cheat, but.
Oh yeah, no, okay, cool. Could you explain how I'd get there?
You would go by plane.
But which airport?
You can go probably from most airports.
That's all my questions
I'll
done.
give you another clue. It'll only take you a few hours to get there. You'd have one more question. Go on.
Man, I messed this up. I'm not good at this.
But once you will practice.
Yeah. All right, cool. So it's a place we've never been before. It's a place that we want to go to. It's not in the Caribbean. It's a couple of hours away.
Good memory.
Is it a place that your family member is there currently or has been? No. All right, that's
Okay.
it. No,
It was the Gran Canaria.
oh, fucking hell, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was like, it might have popped in your head. You're going there in like 2
No,
weeks.
but I didn't even think. It takes 3.5 hours. It's not that.
Yeah,
Like,
well.
just next day.
Okay,
Alright,
you'll go.
cool. Go on. Now you ask me a question.
Is it a who, a what, or a where? It's a who.
It's a who?
Is this person famous?
Yes.
What do they do for a living?
Play sports.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
What sport do they play?
Football.
Oh, for God's sake. Babe, I'm not going to know who they are.
You do know this one.
Okay, what team do they play for?
A Saudi team.
Is it... what's his name again?
You do know.
Ronaldo.
Yes, Ronaldo. Yes.
Yeah, see?
See? I picked something decent. You picked something that
I
I'd
picked
never
something
get.
that you have booked to go on holiday in 2 weeks.
It's not fair.
Okay.
All right, it's my turn, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, to ask questions. Yeah, but it's my go.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay. Oh, this one's gonna be...
fuck, I'm not gonna get it.
You're not gonna get it.
I didn't get the first one, so
You're
I'm
not
not
gonna
gonna
get it.
It's gonna
I'm
be
gonna
a
put
common
it on
occurrence.
screen what it is, so you guys can...
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. You might want to guess along. Okay, go. It... Who, what, where?
Oh yeah. Who, what, where?
It is a what. Oh, and just to clarify, a what is like a thing or an object. It could be anything.
Okay. Is it something in the house?
Yes.
Is it an expensive object?
It's not like expensive, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap. But it's not like expensive.
What do you use it for?
Shit.
Good one. Yes.
You're gonna get it out.
Yes. Give it to me.
I use it to make my vision better.
Contacts.
No.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Yes. Scrap, pop, pop.
That was a good question.
That was a good question. I
That was
smashed that
good.
one.
Okay, you'll go. Okay, is it a who, a what, a where?
I told you it is a what.
What do you use it for?
Well, that fucking kills the thing.
What, you were allowed to ask the question, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, but all right, cool. Use
Okay,
it to
okay,
wipe your
I know.
ass. Use it to wipe your ass.
Your hand.
No.
Toilet roll.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Fucking
we should
killed
ban that question.
Why would we ban it?
Because it gives it away.
We just need to pick better objects.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
No, because if it was like a lawnmower, what would you use it for? To
cut the grass. Yeah, definitely.
Lawnmower.
Yeah.
A sofa, what do you use it for? You sit on it. Chair or sofa? Okay, that question is now bad.
I'm just the genius. That question was bad.
Okay, cool. That was who, what, where.
Yay, success. So we got one each. That's not bad.
Yeah, so one each. One all.
Each. One all.
Should we do one more? See who?
Ooh.
Let's do one more. Right, tiebreaker. Oh. What if we both get it?
That's what I'm feeling. Never stop.
Yeah, we never stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is called public opinion. So we go into, for example, social media, and we think of topics, or we see topics to discuss that other people have been discussing.
Okay, you go first.
So, me first. Let me get back on. I had it open now, and now it's gone. As always, okie dokie. So, this is about kind of deliveries. I saw this one, and I thought, oh, this one's quite a good one, and something that people have to deal with. So, your partner's coming to you about something you've done wrong. Isn't a personal attack. It's a healthy sign. They value the relationship and want to make it work. It's a heads up. You communicate, you fix it, you stay. That's emotional maturity. That's commitment. That's love. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we come to each other, or more me, come to you if there's something that you've done that I don't like. And I know it's never like deal breaker stuff. It's always like something silly, like, can you take your plate to the sink? But I'm like, ah! So yeah, I think that is maturity, and I think that is a way to grow in relationships. And you have to feel 100% comfortable enough to, one, be yourself, but two, be able to, give feedback or ask if someone can improve on something, but two, be strong enough to be able to receive that too.
It's like constructive feedback, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like in terms of that, do you think that people's relationships fail because they aren't able to do this?
100%. I think that communication is the first thing to break down in a relationship, because you're over there thinking one thing, I'm over there thinking the other thing, and if we told each other, it could actually improve it, whereas you just like maybe hating the other person in the corner and getting further and further apart. What do you think?
But do you think there's like a kind of a line that we cross out? If I was to kind of always say, can you stop doing that? Can you stop doing that? Can you stop doing that? Then afterwards, what would that kind of impact our relationship with? Like in terms of, you're not used to feedback.
Excuse me?
You're not used to feedback. Like, you don't take it well. You don't take it well.
What do you mean I don't take it well? I actually like constructive criticism, but the way you go around is like, you don't even, sometimes, actually, you don't even say it. You will just slam doors shut and all that stuff. And then I come down and I'm like, oh, no, you're right. Like, tidying the kitchen. You're like, the kitchen's messy.
Yeah.
That's your way of saying it.
Yeah.
So you think you need to work on that?
Maybe I do. But in terms of, you don't deal with it anyway, when I start speaking about it,
that's how you approach it.
Oh, okay, so
that's
there was a comment. There was a comment here. It is how you deliver your grievances. Your partner can offend you, and how you choose to communicate that to them is a big indicator of how highly you value them, as opposed to valuing the relationship. Simple.
So what does that mean for when you do it like that?
So in terms of,
I mean, you don't always
I probably don't know. I think it's just frustration, and that's how I let out my frustration, because like, we all have our expectations, isn't it? And like, when I come down the stairs, it's not like a good impression, like for me, like just as it is for you, in terms of when you come down and you see the house messy, then it puts you in a bad state. So that is kind of the similar way, and we both share that opinion.
Yeah, sure.
But sometimes life just gets in the way, and I get that. Like, we had a discussion the other day about it. So in terms of it, and we communicated it, we resolved it, kind of, and we found out what the kind of basis of it was, like the kind of underlining issue. So I think that, I completely agree that it's dependent on how you deliver it. And I think that's the case.
Yeah, delivery is key.
And also like past traumas that kind of like in the back of whatever you say brings it back to that part of life where you're like, oh shit,
trauma response.
that's this. So then after it does kind of trigger that. So we need to not not just the delivery, but understand the kind of the past element, and that's why we know each other's past, so it's okay.
So we can understand. I'm like, okay, he's probably reacting like that because, you know, this happened, so, you know, be a bit easy on him.
So what would you do? What advice would you give to somebody who's like just been in a year relationship? They don't know each other. Like in a year we didn't know each other, let's be honest. Like we moved in and stuff like that, but we still didn't know each other to the past, like, and understand, you know.
It takes time to get to know someone as well, and you can tell that each other everything and anything, but you change as a person over years and over time, and some things that you might not have wanted to tell them straight away, you start telling them, you know, over time. So, and also you really get to know someone when something like traumatic happens or something really bad happens, because then you know how they deal with trauma. You know how they treat themselves when life gets tough. And I think a lot of times people always go, oh, but he's really good with me and like he loves me and da-da-da. But it's like, but he might not be looking after himself, or she might not be looking after herself. And it's just as important how that person treats themselves then as well as how they treat you. And people seem to forget that.
I think, but in terms of like, what was the advice in terms of if somebody's brand new in a relationship, or I say brand new is 1 year, like that's still new, like, and that's it. How would you address issues? Because people have that tendency, and I think you had that tendency before as well, like in terms of you got your set standards, and if somebody deviates from that standards, they're cut out, they're gone. Like in a year.
Still is the case.
Yeah, but it depends on what it is, isn't it? It's not like, oh, they didn't pick up their socks, okay, done. Like it has to have like kind of meaning. So how would you tell people to approach situations?
I would say pick your battles first of all. Not everything needs to be commented on, and know your partner to understand what their traumas are and maybe why they're doing something. And again, pick your battles. But I would say if there's something that's bothering you, 100% say it. 100% say it, because they're not going to check you. Why? You expecting a different answer?
No, I'm just remembering when we moved in together the first like proper time, and like you were very like, I want this here, I want this here, I want this here, I want this here. And then I was like, yeah, cool. And then after you go work and everything's changed because I would just change it to how I want. But then it looked good.
That also works.
But that it was the case of, sometimes you've just got to let them say yes, and then after, oversee what they do. But in terms of it worked, in terms of there, because you were so unwilling to see, that it could look good there. So I just wanted to do it to see.
Yeah.
And then after I left it. If it was crap, I would have moved it back, but there was no need. And the same as this, when we moved into the house, you didn't want the bed on that side as well.
I didn't.
So there's loads of examples of that. And that's how many years have we been together? 8 years, and it's still the same issues.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people as well. When you first start dating someone, whatever your issues are, whatever annoys you about that person, that's what's going to annoy you and be a problem forever.
Rewind that one.
I just did. That was the rewind.
That's a reload.
So whatever is the issue or whatever annoys you at the beginning of a relationship, it's usually the thing that annoys you throughout. There will always be things that annoy you. There has to be. Everyone in your life will annoy you at one point. Or, may disappoint you every now and then. But it's the same thing. Like day one with you, it was laughing at stuff that just wasn't funny. Laughing at my pain. Till this day.
Because you knocked my burger down.
Oh, yeah. But it was when we went to the bus stop and I was like, we wait for my bus home. You were going to bring me home. He thought he was getting lucky. And I said to him, you ain't getting lucky today.
That's fine,
I ain't that type of girl. Because I like you. You're lucky. I like you. And I wanted to wait. Anyway, he thought he was getting lucky. So he dropped me all the way home at 3 a.m. And we got to the bus stop and it was like, it literally said like 2.5 hours on the, it says the time. And I'd never seen it say that. And I was like, what? And then that was the laugh. It was like, he was cracking up. He was like,
that was it though. That was it. And that wasn't it. I mean, that wasn't it. Like, do you remember when we were out on the actual bus and someone decided to vomit?
No.
Yeah, they decided to vomit. And then afterwards the guy was like, oh, sorry guys, you're going to have to get off the bus because of this,
then
that,
we
and the
had
other.
to wait for so long for the next one.
No, because then afterwards we said, no, just cordon it off. Don't let people go upstairs.
Oh, see, I don't remember nothing.
And then drive us to our destination.
We said that.
Yeah, well, everyone, it wasn't a packed up bus because it was at like a different time and it was midweek or whatever,
Yeah.
on a weekend, that wouldn't have worked. But I think, then we still got to our destination, but on the same bus. So imagine we had to wait again for a couple more hours. Jeez.
And then we got off the bus and I was like, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
And you went home?
Yeah, I did. I didn't even know where I was. I think I went somewhere else. I got another bus somewhere and got to a train station and
Because
worked
you
it out.
thought you were getting my angelic vagina.
Oh man, that is bad. You shouldn't say that.
I said it. My vagina's angelic. What's wrong with that?
Fair dues. All right. Yeah.
So do you think though that someone should say if they're feeling frustrated about something or annoyed about something?
I think they should, because it only just manifests, and I think it comes with age. Like sometimes, I think when I was younger, I was kind of more chilled. Like I didn't hardly anything bothered me. But now I'm getting older, things that kind of been ingrained from my family, like from how I've been brought up, is starting to kind of show its face in that sense. Like, so even like in terms, if we look at it in just terms of lateness,
Yeah.
I hate when people are late. I hate it. It just doesn't like bold with me, but I don't understand why they're late, and I don't ask that question.
Yeah.
Like, but maybe that was retail as well. When I was a retail manager, like we couldn't accept lateness. Lateness was like the worst thing. Like even if they were shit at their job, we didn't care. They were there.
Yeah.
But in terms of lateness to get
yeah.
there, if they got there late and they're shit, and someone that was good but got there late,
Yeah.
it would have the same impact, because it would have less of an impact that the person who's late, that's shit doing their job, than the good person. Like, we would go ham on the good person.
Yeah. Okay, so my dilemma is a confession sort of thing. And it says, you're entering a new relationship and your significant other asks, what's your definition of cheating? What do you say? There's some answers here, okay? Breathing too close to it.
Jeez. Damn.
A lot of these are basically saying if you will do anything that you would hide from your partner, well, no matter what that is, if you don't want your partner to know, that's cheating. Thoughts?
I think it's if you've had that conversation. If you had that conversation and you're like, now we're committed, like I'm not going to see no one, you're not going to see no one, and you got that basic understanding, that's from the point of when you say, okay, cool, that's when the line is kind of in the sand.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I think we're like, as UK people, we're born in the UK and stuff like that, we're not kind of Americanized in our dating like as much as them. Like they'll date like 5 at a time and then they'll decide who they want to be, and then
People
they commit.
do that though. In
I've never
UK.
done that.
I haven't done that, but people do that.
Yeah, I can assume now that it happens
I
more
don't see
often.
why not.
But yeah, no, it's not, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you have that conversation, like I'm not,
Then you look
I'm
everyone
not.
off.
Then afterwards, you can kind of start saying, look, boom, boom, boom. I've decided to.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's fine. But now you're in this new relationship. What is cheating then? Kissing, sex, like texting, looking at someone, breathing next to someone, as that person said. Like, where's the line?
I think it's just like kind of the usual, isn't it? Like in terms of
Usual.
sex and stuff like that. That's
That's
cheating.
cool. That's chill.
Oh yeah, fuck it up. Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think that's obviously. I think they're more talking about the blurred lines where it's like maybe going out for coffees or maybe lots of touching, hugs, stuff like that.
Could be. Like I don't think hugging is essentially that. Like that's it's cheating. Depends on that relationship, and I think it's anything that that person likes you. Like
Yeah,
what you're
that's the
doing.
key.
That's it. If
That's
you know
the
they
key.
like you, then you have to step
That's
back.
the key. Because I remember I was in retail and I had a boyfriend, but I used to flirt with all the guys in the shop. But we were mates. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was never like anything more. And even if it was, I would be like, ugh. Like, do you know what I mean? It was that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's cheating.
No.
But then if it's like if you know someone likes you and you're like teasing them or flirting with them, then yeah, I think that's wrong.
Yeah, and I think to add on to that is something like in terms of if they like you and you're kind of like them,
Yeah.
like in that
You're
sense.
like,
So
"Oh,
you
he's
have to have
kinda
some
nice."
self-control and then
Yeah.
go, do you know what? I want to either invest into this and see
Yeah.
where this goes, but I
Yeah.
have to cut my current relation off, so it doesn't give that blurred line, because then after you've made a decision, like
Yeah.
it might be the wrong decision,
Yeah.
but no one knows. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. What about some answers here? Honestly, entertaining a person, in brackets, outside of the relationship, close brackets. So in a romantic, intimate, sexual way, whether that's texting, talking, clubbing, etc. Is that true?
I don't know, like, yeah, I think that kind of
texting if you're
starts
like, you
it.
look
Yeah,
sexy
yeah,
today.
yeah. That's different.
That's wrong.
Yeah. If well, I go on the premises if you can't say it when their partner's there, then don't say it.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't gonna say, "Oh, you look nice," in front of their partner, then afterwards, that's because you're allowed to give compliments because everyone likes a good compliment. But it's just a case of if it's that type of compliment that kind of goes, "Oh, you look nice." You look sexy type thing. But again, if they do say it like, and that's been your whole, like, let's put it like this: if you've had a friend and you've had that relationship for a long time, it's platonic, but they have that banter with you, then as a new person in a relationship, like, it's hard to kind of change that. So it just depends on what relationship they've had previously. So you can't come in and start going, no, you can't talk to her like that, blah blah blah, because then what's that gonna do? That's gonna cause it.
Put a little bit of a boundary in when you now have a relationship.
But that's what I'm saying. The conversation before about talking to your partner about an issue, that would be one that you'd kind of discuss. Like, I don't mind like you guys being friends, but the line is there and it can't be crossed. Like, I understand it was there previously, but again, now you have to put those boundaries in, even though I know nothing's gonna happen, for example.
It's just
still
respect.
It's respecting.
What about like sleepovers?
Sleepovers, damn.
Do you remember?
What sleepover?
Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I do remember.
So we first started dating, like literally very, very, very early days, and this guy, don't know why you thought this was a good idea, but you were like, "Oh, babe, you know, was it an ex?"
No.
Oh, some girl that fancied
I can't remember
you.
now. It probably is.
Some girl that fancied him was like, "Do you want to come over for a sleepover?" And what did you say?
I can't remember, you know.
It wasn't great. I don't think you were like, "Yeah, I'm going to go." Is that all right?
No,
but I think you were like, "Oh, look at this girl's messaged me."
I showed you.
I think you showed me, and you said, "Look what she messaged me," and I think you said, "I'm not going to do it, by the way." But I was just like, "But why would you tell me?" And your point, I know what your point was. Your point was, I'm sexy, girl. So you best appreciate me because I got girls queuing up. That's what you were doing.
I can't remember I did that.
That's
but I have nothing to hide, so I'm just like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
You do show me some stuff, and I'm like, you could have just said no and just moved on.
No, but I like to show you. I like to show you.
I was like, well, I trust you. It does build a trust in a way, but some girls, I think it did hurt me a little bit. I don't know why. I just felt like, oh, he's mine, you know.
Yeah, I guess it. Yeah.
So yeah, no sleepovers.
No sleepovers. So no sleepovers.
Spanner in the works though. What about like my friend Ryan? He's gay.
Don't.
What?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like bait his life out.
I would never. I love Ryan.
Cool. All right, cool. No, I'm just saying,
My
like,
friend
anybody.
Ryan.
I'm trying to use anyone's names.
My friend Ryan, he's gay. We've been out with you before, and we've been like so drunk, and then me and Ryan like kissed on the lips, like a.
Yeah, that was strange.
I don't know why the fuck I did that. But what about that? Like, is that cheating?
I don't think it. I don't consider it. It was just a bit strange, like.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like.
We probably all three of us probably like, why that just happen?
Well, flip it.
But like,
if
that
I
does
did that,
happen
no,
all
wait,
the time.
hold on.
Yeah.
Flip it. Let's flip it. Yeah. You
How
said
the
if
fuck
there was
no?
a girl
How the
and she
fuck
was
no?
gay, and then afterwards we were like, oh yeah, that type thing.
I would knock that bitch out. I would knock that bitch out. But me and Ryan have been friends for like 8 years.
Yeah, imagine the exact same situation. I've been.
You wouldn't be friends with her anymore.
So that conversation before again.
Double
There's anything
standards.
that is, this is what I'm saying. Like,
do you know what it is? I'd be like fine with it on the night, but I would talk to you later about it and be like, that for me made me feel a bit uncomfortable because then like, how gay is she? Do you know what I mean? How gay?
I didn't even cross my mind. Like, I think it's because I knew him, went out with him, and I liked him, so it wasn't like I didn't even consider it like I knew. Yeah. I knew it. Like,
that's the first and only time that's happened. I think we were just two.
Yeah,
I know. We were like.
I was just thinking, what the fuck just happened? But it didn't bother me. I still carried on with the night and I forgot about it.
She happy, I'm happy. But look at Kylie Jenner.
No, that was you.
Kylie Jenner and her best friend Stassi, they literally make out on occasion, and they're both fully straight. But they're both single. So that's different. But would you say that would be cheating if one of them had a boyfriend?
Well, I'm not too bothered about that, but I know probably other people would be. And I can't remember what it was. I saw a clip or something, and some guy was like, "Nah, it's done." Like,
Really?
Yeah,
They
I
kissed their
can't
best
remember.
friend?
They kissed another girl or whatever, and then afterwards he was like, "Nah, that's not funny. That's not."
But was she
And it was
maybe
like one of them.
bi or?
I don't know. Like basically, like it was on like when they interview someone, and then afterwards, like they were like, "I dare you to blah blah blah."
Oh,
Did it.
do you think
The
it's
guy
fake
was there.
though?
That might be, but
Might be.
again, like it has that. Some
It's a
people
question,
are
though.
really like
Yeah.
kind of maybe
Yeah.
religion and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That
Religion
could be.
plays into it.
So
All
then
depends.
afterwards, so that it's just dependent on kind of what they see as acceptable behaviors.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the main part of the podcast. So this week we're actually going to be talking about mortgages and renting, and that's because we have done a lot of not a lot, but I've done a lot of renting in different places. You less so, but now we've bought a house, and just it's such a crazy world out there right now. We just want to share like our process of how we bought a house, any advice, the difficult decisions that we had to make, the big changes that we had to do, and any regrets and any tips and tricks that we want to share.
Yeah. I think in terms of like actually buying a house, I think if you're in a relationship, you need to make sure you rent before you buy, because you don't really know that person. Like in terms of a year, 2 years, 3 years, I still think you don't know that person that well. Like,
you say that, but there's so many people that get married after 2 years and stay together forever. Look at your mum and dad.
Guess so. Like, but there is differences. Like, I think back then was a different time. Like, was a definitely different time, especially if you're young. If you're young and only had a couple of relationships prior, then I think you have to kind of. It's all dependent on personal kind of experience, I guess. But for me, that's what I'd advise. Like, dependent on like I'm not saying if you're a slag, that's cool. Within 1 month, you can go move in married.
The thing is, well, I think definitely move in together first. I don't think there's a time limit on that. But definitely move in together before buying a house, because you can get out of renting a lot easier than get out of buying.
Do you remember what happened when we were in Crystal Palace? Don't you remember? When you decided to let that... Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
and they just literally moved in together.
We were living in this flat in London in Crystal Palace, and it was like, it wasn't a block, but there was 2 floors, and you go in, everyone goes through one door. And this couple moved in opposite us, young couple.
Nice people.
Lovely people.
Yeah, cool.
And one night, it was really late. Well, late for us, it was like 11 o'clock. And we were in bed, and someone was like, buzzing the door. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went to the phone, I picked up, and I was like, hello. And then this is all I had. Because you didn't hear it. This is what I had. Hi, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I forgot my key. Can you just let me in? I was like, yeah, like, it's fine. It's cool. Like, obviously, there's loads of people living in there, right? So I'm thinking, whatever. Buzz her in. But 30 seconds later, you can hear, what the fuck, you fucking smashing. And me and Mug's like, what is it?
I was like,
who the fuck is she?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is she? We were like, oh.
It was bad, but we were there going, looking outside the window. Like, going. And then afterwards, they kind of, which I think was quite nice, like they kind of united at the end. And they were just talking. I was just like, fuck, like all that drama.
How long have you been seeing him for?
Yeah, it was bad.
Since Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they had Christmas dinner and shit.
Yeah. How do you know where I live? All this stuff. Because he brought me here before. This.
Like, not that we saw anything or none of that, but it was just like.
But also, because they was very new, they were only there for a month or 2.
Yeah.
You're not going to recognize if the girl's different. And there was 2 black girls.
Yeah.
So you're not going to recognize, after a few months, you kind of get used to what they look like, and you'll be able to differentiate. But we wouldn't have noticed, and we hardly saw them.
Do you know what we should have known? Do you remember when
they
tried to ask? Known? No, when he tried to ask for the broadband.
He asked for the broadband
Wi-Fi, so he could use our broadband from it. That we should have known about that. And the thing is, when I said yes, because I wasn't even thinking, I was like, yeah, no problem, because I'm not even concentrating. And then afterwards, when it came to it, like, Side was like, no, you ain't giving it to him. So I was like, nah, sorry, like, she's a blogger, she needs it.
Thank God.
All the thing.
Our story of buying a house, we actually rented a few different places before. So we moved into it with each other after 3 months, which wouldn't you find that crazy now if your kid was I've met someone 3 months ago and I want to move in with them? But as a couple and in the time, didn't feel weird at all.
No.
Felt completely, well, to me, it felt completely normal. Yeah, it didn't feel weird to me. It felt like completely normal. So
that's right. It's all dependent on the situation. I think, you know, we had relationships before. We weren't young. We were young, but
I was 24 and you were 28.
27, 28. So it was like we were at that age where we've dated, we've done what we needed to do type thing.
Yeah, like we dated loads of different people. We realised what we like, what we don't like, and we realised with each other, we were like, there's quite a few boxes being ticked here. Quite enjoying spending time together. We slept over, you slept over mine quite a lot, because I had my own place. You slept over mine quite a lot. I slept over yours like a couple of times, because you lived with your parents, so it's different. But yeah, so we moved into with each other after 3 months, and then we lived in a few different places, like flats, like shared flats, our own flat. We lived with your parents 2 different occasions. Lived with them for a year. Then we got our own place.
Yeah,
and
the Crystalways,
Then we lived with your mum for a little while, and then we actually lived separately, which is mad. So Max stayed with his mum, and I decided to move in with my mum, and like we stayed apart for like 8 months. And I think I saw you like once or twice. And some people would look at that and be like, "Oh my god, like that's crazy. How do you cope?" I see some things sound like, "Oh, he's going for like 2 weeks." I'm like, "Fuck off!" Like, and I just thought, if it's meant to be and if it's meant to last, it just will. It just will.
Yeah, it's just like dependent on the circumstances. Like, it was kind of at that time we were looking to stack as well.
We wanted to save to buy a house, money, and we just thought, look, it's not easy living with our parents, but if it's only a couple months, I can force myself through this time. But actually, I quite enjoyed the time with my mum. There was times that were difficult, but I actually quite enjoyed living with her, like overall.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like in terms of it needed, like just a backstory. So my dad passed away, and then afterwards, obviously, it's quite difficult for families to deal with that. So it was better to kind of like separate, so then afterwards we could kind of go forward as well. So we went a little bit back. Well, not back, because we already had the foundation. We already had the foundation
together for 5, 6 years. I knew you knew me. We lived together for the 6 years. And I just thought, you know, if it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. If it is, it is. I'm going to save as much money as I can so we can move and buy a house. And that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. That's kind of why it happened. It wasn't kind of like for...
It wasn't just like, I need space.
Oh, we need space type thing. It wasn't that. It was just kind of, well, we needed space,
we don't want to
rent
right now.
For a different reason.
Yeah, we don't want to rent. We want to save, because I didn't want to rent for the rest of my life. And I had an opportunity. I saw an opportunity to buy a house, and I thought, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, but also considering it wasn't going to be in London, that's another decision we had to make. So then afterwards, but it made it easier that you were away and I was away, because then afterwards we would be like, you know what, it kind of that transition in terms of when we moved up to Manchester, because we rented before we bought in Manchester, because we need to double check, make sure that it was the right city for us. And luckily it was. But again, like it's in like every single relationship, you need to test the waters, see how it goes, and then afterwards commit. I wouldn't have suggested, as soon as we kind of get there we buy, because we didn't know the areas, we didn't know anything.
But you did want to. But only reason was because
didn't want to rent.
We'd saved so much money, and I had something bad on my credit, so a lot of landlords were saying no. The only way we were going to rent and go through like a proper agency and stuff was to give money up front, and a big chunk of money up front.
I remember.
So we thought all that money we've just saved, well, especially on my side, was going to go. Because we had to buy furniture and everything. And you know what? We just thought the rent was cheap in my eyes.
Compared to what we were paying.
Compared to London, a couple £100 cheaper a month, and the bills are then again another £100 cheaper a month. And I thought we can save again. I said, let's stay there for a year. And we'll save, even if it's a few £100 a month. And I, you know, with my blogging, I get money here and there, which really helps. And you're really good with your money. So I wasn't worried about you. And we thought, let's save up for a year and buy a house. And that's literally what we did.
100%. And I think it was difficult because you see that money that you've saved and then it's just gone. And that was difficult to let it go.
But then the thing is, we paid 6 months up front, but then we didn't have to pay anything. So we were able to save because we were paying, it was £700 a month for rent. So we had the opportunity then to save £700 a month for 6 months, which is a lot of money.
Well, remember, I didn't have a job.
Yeah, you didn't have a job.
I didn't have that. Yeah, I think it was 2-3 months where I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
But then after that's the kind of
You did the right thing.
Yeah,
though.
that's what you have to do sometimes, take big risks. And we kind of led into that. Like moving city was a big risk. With no job was a big risk.
Yeah.
Like in terms of you had a job. And then afterwards,
Yeah.
you could that was less of a risk because at least you knew you had money.
We wouldn't have moved without one of us having a job anyway.
Of course. So it's just a case of you have to kind of look at the situation and figure out, is it feasible? And I think that is the key. Is it feasible? Does it tick every box in terms of could we get more out of this situation than not?
Yeah.
And I think that is what you need to have the discussions about, like similar to that conversation that we had before about kind of being upfront and kind of talking about issues. It's the same as if you're planning for the future. You need to make sure that you are having those discussions.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been together for a while. Like if those discussions aren't happening and you're 8 years deep, then
Sign ain't right.
Something's not right.
And that goes back to instant gratification and then delayed gratification, because I grew up with instant gratification. You do stuff now. You do it now. You want the reward now. You don't want to suffer because life's already hard. You don't want to make it any harder. Why would you do that? But I've learned as I grow up that for me, what works better is doing that, is the delayed gratification. So doing the hard work now and waiting and then getting that reward. It's not easy, and I don't do it perfectly, and I go up and down, have good days and bad days. But like the saving the money was hard.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have money when I was younger. And even when I was older, I didn't have money because all of it went on my rent. So as soon as I got that little bit of money, I wanted to spend it. I wanted to enjoy it. And I thought, like, if I do nothing for a year, I'm going to be miserable. So what I did do was I split it. I made sure that I did do some stuff. I did buy some stuff, but then I did save. So it did take me a bit longer, and I just about got the money to pay half for this house. Literally within like a couple of minutes before we had to transfer over the money.
Hell, man.
It was like they were like, okay, transfer over the deposit, blah blah. And I was like £300 out. Yeah. And I was like, okay, babe, you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah, I had it anyway. So then we were right.
I'll pay you back. And then I checked my bank, and I was like, I got a payment from the blogging. Yeah. And I was like, yes, in your face, I paid half of everything. Can't remember my point.
In terms of delayed stuff.
Delayed. So I split it because I just thought I'm not going to be able to save every penny for a year. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to fool myself. I'd end up spending more. So I saved what I wanted to. I spent what I wanted to. It went up and down. It definitely went like this. Like it went up and down, but slowly still went up, and then at the end it went. So.
I think it's the case of when you start seeing it, then you start believing that you can do it. But again, you need to kind of figure out your strengths. So your strength, you figured out your weakness and your strength, and you're like, you know what? Yeah. If I save, and then I see that money, I'm just gonna spend it like occasionally. Yeah. So then afterwards, you kind of needed to make sure that you were still. Like being yourself and having that. For me, I could just save and not do much. Yeah. Like I could still do stuff, but not like going on holiday doing that, because I know that I want this at the end of it, and you know I don't want to spend time doing it. I would rather do it quicker, and then afterwards I'll do less stuff. But again, no kind of route was bad. No, it's just that you need to know
the same destination,
what
but you
works
did it
for
your
you.
way.
Yeah,
I did it my way.
And we're still in a relationship, so it shows that it doesn't. You don't have to agree on absolutely everything. It just needs to make sure at the end you have your set goal. Have you done it or not? And then if it's not, then after you just kind of move the goalposts a little bit, and then see where it goes. But if there's if it's like completely different, then you need to have kind of more finite discussions to say, well, you said we've had the same year or whatever.
Yeah, you've got nothing.
You've got nothing.
I've got it all. What's happening? I'm not going to pay
because you don't know. I could have had a gambling addiction, something like that. So there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't know about. But again, that would be the discussion of kind of trying to figure out what the kind of issue was. Yeah. But again, 100%. But you know, I think fundamentally, whatever you do, you plan as best you can. It's not going to be perfect. The plan isn't going to fall into place 100% all the time. But you just have to be adaptable to that plan. Yeah. And I think we were adaptable together. So you would look after certain pits and I would look after the rest. And it was kind of balanced. I think it's that balance. It's never going to be 100% 50-50. Never. But the effort you should put in, again, 100% each. So the effort would always be 100% each time.
Exactly. And I think, you know, it was tough moving from London to Manchester because we've been brought up in London. All our friends are in London. Our families in London. Our jobs were in London. So that was this also delayed gratification, because we could have stayed and we could have rented and we would have been fine. Like, whatever. Maybe. I don't know. We could have stayed. We could have bought maybe a share to buy. Buy to share?
Shared ownership.
Shared ownership, sorry.
Jeez.
I didn't look into
lucky.
these too much.
Yeah.
Shared ownership. We could have done a shared ownership and bought out and then done
certain
that.
percentages, yeah.
But, you know, I did do research on that actually, and I heard a lot of opinions from friends and people online, and I didn't hear a lot of good stuff. And when it was bad, it was really bad.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I don't want that stress.
Yeah,
I want to own my own house outright. I don't want to worry
Freehold.
about it.
That means freehold.
And I also thought about my future and our children, and I want that stability. And I felt like I would get that from buying a house.
Yeah.
And I thought, at least by the end of it, even if we end up paying so much, one day we won't have to pay anymore, and we'll have that house to either sell or give to our children or whatever.
Yeah,
So-
that's what, and that kind of shared ownership. Then you looked at the leasehold in terms of when you're
Looked at
living in
leasehold,
London,
yeah.
you kind of all you could afford in terms of what we had in terms
It
of
was literally a crackdown.
was
There was nothing actually,
studios,
because we wanted to spend
not
about
even.
200 grand,
Yeah.
and nothing came up. I looked at it was boats.
no, yeah,
We would have had to move out of London anyway. So the decision was stay and rent, stay with friends, family, work, or move and buy and move to a big city. So I wanted a better life for myself, and I thought that would be the best decision. At one point, I didn't want to leave London, and I felt like I was being forced out, and I felt like I didn't have any control, and I didn't like that, and I didn't want to leave. And then I spoke to my life coach, and then we had a good session. At the session, she was like, "Look, I'm not supposed to say this usually, but still keep one eye on London. Like, if you want to stay, you can stay."
yeah,
And as soon as she said that, it felt like it was a decision again. And it felt like I wasn't being forced. And Manchester, slowly but surely, started to become more attractive in my eyes, and more of like, this is my decision. You're not, you forced out. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, we went to Manchester for a week just to see it out, and it was meant to be, because it was like the sunniest week.
Yeah,
The
it
weather was gorgeous. We went to restaurants, different hotels. It was literally amazing.
Yeah, it was nice hotels.
And we
as
were
well.
like, yeah, this is nice. Let's do it. Let's move it. And I was applying for jobs at the same time, and I'd worked in merchandising for a while, and I hadn't got anywhere like promotion wise, and I was fed up, so I started applying for jobs for the role above, and I was getting a lot of interviews. Did the interviews really quickly, got a quick turnaround, and started getting job offers.
Yeah.
So we were just like, okay,
Whilst
whilst
in
we were there
Manchester.
that week.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, shit, let's do it.
Yeah. So it just kind of it shows that little bit of kind of, you can't go with 0 groundwork. You have to kind of put yourself out there. But as soon as you do, it starts to kind of paint the picture itself.
Yes.
And I think that what Sian was saying in terms of it shouldn't be forced, or you shouldn't. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Like
It
in
was
terms
perspective.
Of, yeah, it was
I just
perspective.
shifted my mind, and I loved it all of a sudden.
And then afterwards, you kind of adapt to it. Like, it took me a little bit longer to kind of like address it and adapt to it, because I felt a bit forced. But again, it is just the market in terms of London.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to buy a house without support.
Yeah, it's impossible
so-
unless you're on. You have to be earning like 200 grand, and
Which isn't impossible. Like, and
was
some people are doing
nowhere
it, but
near
like we weren't in
Nowhere near
that
that.
position.
And do you know what? And I always go by this saying, it's what if it turns out better than you could have imagined? And that happens so often. So Manchester, even we changed our minds, or I changed my mind, we moved, and we were like, this is quite nice. Since we've moved, our lives has improved so much. I love Manchester. I love the people here. I've had a few different jobs. I'm progressing in every job. Earn more money than I've ever earned. We've bought a beautiful house in a nice area with parks and shops and friendly neighbours, and it's just like, I didn't imagine this.
Yeah, I mean,
Did not imagine any of this.
yeah. Comparison to London in terms of like, I know the neighbours, like my next door neighbours and my mum's, like we know them, like they're cool, and the other side. But in terms of, it's not normal.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like other people living in different areas, like they always kind of have arguments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fences, like I have an issue with my neighbour in the fence, and I paid for it. They said they were going to give 50%, and then they didn't. And all that drama, like, and here, like, it's just a case of like, it's just the small stuff, like the good mornings and stuff, and how you doing, how you getting on. Have you finished everything? All that sort of stuff. Whereas when you move to London, it's like just good morning and that's it. Like that's
You're lucky to get a good morning.
Yeah, you're lucky to get a
look.
nod or whatever. Like so, it's that case of like, and we had like horrific neighbors at some points. Like in terms, they managed to be
horrific roommates, like
yeah,
flatmates.
of course,
Let alone that. So,
so
we've been through tough, and I think we deserve this.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've made more new friends here in Manchester, although a lot of them are gone now, but more new friends here in Manchester. I've gone out and enjoyed my life so much more in Manchester than I ever did in London. And yeah, like we said, it was a tough decision, but something in our gut was like, we have to do this. This is the right thing to do. And it bloody well was.
Like having that kind of discussion with yourself, like when you're setting goals and stuff like that, like if you said within this time frame you'd have your own house and stuff like that, I would have gone to myself and said, you silly prick. How dare you waste my time in this conversation? Because it was kind of like we didn't see it. There was no possibility of it in our minds. But then afterwards it just happened, and then you're just like,
I can't believe I bought a house. Anyway,
just like
that was never in my mind.
So it's just
money, because of money. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it is kind of like, and that's the thing, like we knew kind of, because we were together for so long, like we could kind of address certain goals together, like and we could do it. I knew we could do it. It's just the case of I had the belief early on, and then towards the end I was like, well, maybe not. But then you picked up going, no, we can do it. And then afterwards it kind of balanced in there. So then afterwards we got no help from no one. Like we did it ourselves.
We got help in terms of they let us live at our houses. That's a big help. But no one gave us any cash or anything like that.
Nothing, not in terms of to
buy the house
and stuff. Yeah. So we did that all together. Whereas other people sometimes get the, silver spoon to help, and which is good.
If someone was offering, I would
of
take
course,
it.
we would have taken it with both
also,
hands.
it feels so much better now that we did it all by ourselves.
So that thing, instant gratification and delayed. Like I feel like we've accomplished something here. Like
100%.
we've done the best we can. We've done it. Like obviously there's always DIY bits to do. But again, we've got it to the standard that we're happy. And that, people have stayed around, they like the house and stuff like that. So it's just a case of that mindset of, do I leave my family and friends? That's the most difficult thing. And, sometimes it's easier. Sometimes you struggle in terms of the months and stuff like that. And kind of looking at, like when my dad passed and stuff, like his birthday and all of that, not having my mum and my sister around me, it is tough. It is tough. But again, all you can do is what you can do. And I know, there'll be an element of pride if my dad was alive and he did see it.
Yeah, of course. That's all he ever wanted.
Yeah, that's all he was fucking talking about. Jesus. But again, like in the case of like, but did he really see at that time? Maybe not, because we were a bit spendy.
People have their opinions on us, and sometimes they're not true.
Yeah, it's true. So we did it in the end, like, and that was it.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of us. So, any regrets? No.
I don't think I have any regrets. I think we did it to what we needed it to happen, in terms of we waited, we didn't rush into it. Like the freaking house search was tough. Like, I regret. Do you know what I do regret?
What?
When we searched houses and we knew, I'm never gonna buy this house, but we went anyway.
Like, it wasn't that. It was like, maybe we're not. Do you know what it was? We didn't realize that we'd end up seeing about 50 houses. Yeah. First of all, they don't give a shit that you have a job.
Yeah, they don't.
It's 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. Which one do you want?
Yep.
Sorry, what? No, I work 9 to 5. I told my work, luckily, one, I was working from home a lot of the time, and two, actually all the time, and two, they were very flexible. They were like, don't worry, as long as you do your hours again, like get them in whenever you can, go view the house, good luck. You didn't come to some because your work, obviously, you're training. You can't take time off work.
But like when I wasn't, like they were really like good with it. Like
they were good when
you did. They did the same. As
long
as I booked it in advance and kind of knew it. But sometimes with house hunting, you don't know. Like you said, could be 10, 2, 1.
We so many, and sometimes the pictures look nice, and you turn up and you're like, "Fuck's sake!"
Yeah, they took it like 20 years ago.
There
was no fucking
leaks
walls
everywhere.
Yeah,
fucking stinks. Fucking walls falling apart, and you're like, "I've just taken an hour off work to come to see this shithole."
Yeah, that's
in this shit area.
Yeah, that's
you drive down. My mum's driving us, and you're like, "Oh."
You can start seeing this, start going. There might be nice people, but yeah.
And I remember parking up and I was like, I'm not buying this house. I'm not even there. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And you go inside, you're like, yep, shit. Okay, let's go. I don't care if I'm in there for 2 seconds. I'm like, thank you, bye.
Yep.
You want to see me again?
But that was after we started seeing all those places, and we
got
fuck
more
that
fierce.
shit. Like, no, I'm not wasting my time.
We ain't started. Yeah, and by the end, this was probably the last house we viewed.
This was the last house we viewed,
and we put in an offer, and it got accepted. And thank fuck.
Yeah, jeez, we were on the. We were on the last.
I was gonna
straw,
have
mate.
a break.
Yeah.
I was like, let's have a break.
We were either gonna have a break or break down. So I don't know what.
We're
close to it. Yeah. We're close to it. But it's the case of like you don't know the truth behind anything, like with estate agents, anything like that. So that adds another element to it. We were lucky we had a decent one at the end, like that kind of put it through. So
yeah.
But again,
and people lie. The estate agents want more money, and you end up paying more than what you should. And
but it is what it is. Like we're happy in terms of where it is now, and
I'm happy now.
Yeah, so it's all good. But it's just to get to that process. I think the regrets is not kind of looking at a picture and go, do you know what? I can't see myself here, and then you waste time going to like hour or two going places that you know probably fundamentally at the back of your mind you like, never move to.
But it's because you get desperate.
Yeah,
because you're looking every 5 minutes, all day, every day. Then you spend hours and hours because you're searching. Okay, house looks decent. You're checking everything about it. Where is it? You're on Google Maps looking down the roads. What kind of house is it? Tidy outside. What shops? How do I get to the shops? By walk, by bus, by car? How do I get to? What are the schools like? We don't have kids. But I'm like, if we have to stay for 30 years, what are the schools like? Are they good? Are they? What is the transport like? How do I get to there? How do I get to work? How does Max get to work? Then you're like, oh, there's a fucking builder shop next door
that starts at 6 a.m. with deliveries and shit. So you have to kind of do your searches, and that's why you kind of tap into your network and go and ask people what would they advise you, and kind of like my sister gave us good advice in terms of just look around. Is there anything that you know they could kind of hide, and then afterwards you go there and then you're just like boom, without going into specifics and stuff like that. But like we would kind of Google map check, okay, there's a car wash there, there's something else there, okay, probably loud or whatever. And then after because we put in a couple of offers and there was one somewhere else, but then it had damp and all that sort of stuff. But I still won't regret it. Like we lost a bit of money on that, but
everything happens for a reason. It was on a main road and it was taunting me at night, thinking, "Are you going to be able to sleep?" And I remember sleeping in our bed and being like, "It's absolutely silent here right now. Am I going to be able to cope?" Sleeping and there's cars going.
And it wasn't like it was like a 20-mile-per-hour one. It was like
could go
30, 40, whatever. So then after you definitely hear it. So then now we're kind of living in a close, so it's nice. And the neighbors are quiet and all that stuff. So it's nice. Like I think, you know, and it wasn't much difference in terms of price.
No. But yeah, I think, and also I don't ever think that there's any regrets because in anything in life, because you wouldn't be where you are today. There's not a lot that I would go back in my life and change, even though I've been through a lot of pain and struggle.
I mean we had 2 mortgage in principles as well, like just touching on it, and kind of like that's when you start feeling when it comes to the end, you're like, oh, let's go to a few houses, they might surprise us. Nah, they don't surprise you.
No. Okay, now we're going to play Guess the Price. So today we were talking about renting and mortgages, and I found this interesting or shocking fact. So the average mortgage payment has increased by 20% since December 2021.
Jeez.
That's a lot of money extra to be paying every single month. So what we've done is, since we're talking about renting and mortgages, we've gone on to find, well, I don't know what you found, but guess the price of a house or renting or whatever, and you guys can play along as well. So do you want to go first or should I?
I'll go first. So I will show you, I'll show you the pictures from my phone.
Cool.
All right, close it.
So is this renting or buying?
This will be the first one is renting.
So what you're going to show me now is I have to guess how much the monthly rent is.
Monthly rent is.
Okay,
but I'll tell you where it is.
Yeah, tell me all about it.
It is in Cardiff, and it's a studio.
Okay.
So swipe this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Cardiff in a studio.
Yeah,
Cardiff in studio.
So swipe.
So it's a studio flat in Cardiff, and I have to guess the price.
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look at what this looks like. This looks
the
nice
right
on the outside.
Well, let me see what you're looking at.
Why?
Because to make sure you're swiping
you
the right
told
way.
me which way to go.
Okay, cool.
So I listened. So shower room, front room. The bed's right next to the shower.
Yeah.
What's that big grey area?
Don't know.
Like car park.
Damn.
Oh, the shower's nice. The kitchen's nice. This looks exactly like places I'd lived in before, but not in Wales. So let me think. Okay,
Give me the phone. And then
I'm
after
still
that-
looking.
Oh, you're still
10 years ago, when I was renting studio flats in London, I paid about £600-700. But this is Wales, but this is 2023. I'm gonna guess it's about the same price. £600-700 a month.
Let me show you. So go back to my notes. And I put the price. How much did you say?
About £600-700 a month.
Higher.
No.
Yes. Higher.
No, but it's in Wales.
It's in Wales.
And it's like
So it must be in
small.
it must be in like kind of the city centre type thing or somewhere commutable.
Yeah, but bloody, it's a studio.
Yeah, it's a studio.
Oh my god, is it 1,000?
No, less than that.
Okay.
Less than that.
850.
Close.
You can tell me now.
825.
With no bills. I should have asked that.
No, well, I don't know if it's. I think it's
I
just.
doubt it's bills.
No, bills you need to add on to that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, if you move to Manchester, you can get a whole 2-bedroom flat for that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it's a bit.
But not in the
kind
city.
Of, yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah. Okay, so I found.
Me next. So what's this?
This is a house to buy.
Ooh. Where?
It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
Oh, where?
Okay, it says it's a magnificent grade 2 listed. Rewind. Magnificent grade 2 listed detached gentleman's residence set within approximately 3.85 acres of formal gardens and land. Do you really need to know where it is?
I need to know where it is to guess the price.
I'm gonna have to go
'Cause
back
if it's
onto
in,
it.
like,
Right move.
you need to be organised, babe.
Well, it might
Organisation's
have been
key.
gone now.
Oh shit! This is what you told me to do.
I know.
You didn't even do it.
No. I think it's in Manchester,
Oh, is it Manchester? Oh, that's fine then.
but
I'll
like
just do it
not
based on
like
that.
city.
Okay, cool.
obviously.
I'll just base it on that then.
Okay. So this is property 1. You can scroll through all of these. I put it in a separate folder.
Okay.
How much do you
Okey-dokey.
think this property?
Jeez, it's got a
is?
tennis court. Jeez, man. And wow. That is what was it called?
Gentleman's residence, grade 2.
Wow. Just the furniture is probably worth more than our house.
Oh yeah.
But for all those beams are nice. Ooh, jeez.
It's buff, isn't it? I've never seen a house like it.
I've never stepped foot in one.
I've never even seen one online. You
Not
when
even
you
allowed
filter your
into one
budget,
that-
you're like,
Yeah. Dude, this is what like. Do you see those American houses that you think, damn, like that's buff, like,
Yeah.
and they're a rich rapper or something like that. They've even got a fucking gym.
yeah.
Damn, and like a kind of vineyard walking.
Yeah,
This
tennis
is
court.
3.85. It's freehold
Acres.
as well.
It's
So that
freehold.
kind of makes it a French style 4-piece white suite.
See, I don't know what acres is. I don't know what 3.8
I can't
acres is,
forget.
but
All I know
it's like
is a massive. Like, if it's got fucking room for tennis court
yeah,
and all
it's
that
like a football
space, then
stadium
it's like,
probably.
this must be 1.8 mil.
1.8 mil. I should guess. Okay. This house costs 2.95 million. 2.9. Do you know what? And then the grand
But it's
scheme of
finished,
things, that's
it's
not even that bad
Mate,
for what it is.
I would buy that.
If I won 10 million in the lottery, or even if I won 3 million, I wouldn't be able to keep
Nah,
up.
we wouldn't.
10 million in the lottery, I could buy that easy.
We'd have to we'd have to have people move in with us.
We'd have to have a lot of people move.
Rent-
All of our
rent
family would
certain
live with us.
In
Yeah,
order
just
for
to
that.
pay the electricity bills.
Jeez. All right, cool. Mine's next. So
Okay.
that was double what I said.
Yeah.
I said 1.8, like thinking that, I don't even know, but I was also thinking maybe it was in a place that isn't very kind of commutable.
Yeah, it's not going to be in, you'd have to drive. You
Yeah.
couldn't walk to a shop.
All right, this next one. This one's in
Is
Liverpool.
this rent or buy?
This one is to buy.
Ooh.
I did one of each.
Liverpool to
Liverpool
buy.
to buy.
Can you turn your screen brightness up, please?
Man, you're blind, man. Jeez. You just need to click it.
Your phone is always so dark, and then in the
Because it
night when I'm
saves
trying to
battery.
sleep, it's so bright.
Go on.
Thank you. Oh, this looks nice. Liverpool Road. Am I swiping this way?
Yeah, I think that's the inside of it, yeah.
To rent, to buy.
To buy.
Liverpool to buy. It's nice. Nice kitchen. Oh shit, there's only 3 pictures.
There's only 3 pictures.
Okay. Liverpool to buy. How many bedrooms is it?
Can't remember. Let me check.
See? You don't even come prepared either.
I don't know, because I had to cut the price out. Like, I know, but I can click a link and find it.
Oh, you got the link
Yes.
saved. I need to
Thank
do
you.
that next time.
Thank you very much. It's a 1-bed leasehold.
1 bed leasehold. What, flat house?
Oh, fuck. Ask the questions quicker, man. Jeez.
1 bed leasehold.
And what you asking? It's an apartment.
Oh, 1 bed leasehold apartment, but in Liverpool. I'm going to guess it's about 180.
180,000.
Yeah, why?
No, you're way off.
Is it lower?
Oh, it's a higher.
Higher? Stop it.
This is Kenyon's Place, so I think it's quite.
What?
It's like a good area. Let's put it like that.
How much is it
It's
then?
got 100A. No, keep guessing.
200. I can't keep guessing because I feel sick that it costs more than
It's more than
180
200.
grand. No. Ours was 200.
Yeah, I know. But
That's
this
mad.
is more than that.
Yeah, but it's Liverpool.
All right, calm down.
Tell me how much it is.
900,000.
Babe, that must be wrong.
Oh, no,
It's a leasehold and it's a fucking flat.
Is there leasehold flat, and it looks tiny.
Babe.
That's the actual link.
What the
Someone
fuck?
is making money, but it must
That
be
must
like
be a
the
mistake.
Mayfair of fucking Liverpool.
It's a 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, it's 8 of them.
Oh shit. Okay, makes sense now.
8 no leasehold apartments in the same block.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay.
That's actually not
That's
bad.
not that
So I
bad.
was
That's a
about
good
right.
price. Yeah,
no, it's
yeah,
8 divided by 9. It's 100 grand each almost. 100 something
right.
grand each.
That's not bad. Oh shit, I was that.
You should have questioned that. You just accepted it.
I just accepted. You know me.
Okay, my turn. This one is to buy. This is a freehold house located in Bradford.
Ooh, Bradford.
It's got 3 bedrooms, and yeah, that's about it. You can scroll through all of those.
I know a few people from Bradford now, so I'm not. They tell me it's a bit rough.
Okay, so how much do you think this house
It
is
looks
for sale?
nice, though.
Freehold house, 3 bedrooms.
It's like a townhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I would buy
It's
it.
decorated very similar to what this place is.
Yeah, that's why I
decorated.
picked it. I like it.
Yeah, oh, wow, that kitchen, that is a strong colour to be picking in your kitchen. They love purple, colour purple. Yeah, bloody every room's got a bit of tinge of purple. Oh, that's carpets.
Babe, how much?
Jeez, nah, this is, wow, okay. Not much of a garden, all bricked up and stuff. I would say 103,000.
103.
Yeah.
Do you know how much mortgages are right now?
Oh, maybe.
Do you know how much prices are right now?
I'd say 170.
You went from 100 to 170
Yeah,
in like
that's
3
how I
seconds.
do. That's how I do it.
It's not 100k. 500.
I know it's not that much because it's
So you think it's
smaller.
170?
About 170.
It's lovely though, isn't it?
It's nice, very
I really
nice
like
finish.
it. So it does cost £139,000.
139. Okay.
That's not bad.
140k for that. It's a good. It's got, you can get bargains, and I'm just saying it's just
Depends on the
you
area.
have to do the research, see the area,
Yeah.
and figure out if it's a place where you want. Like
Yeah.
they do say it's a little bit rough in Bradford, but
Yeah, well, that's why it's 140.
It's nice.
It's a lovely house.
lovely
but
house.
I think a big point to what you're saying is another reason why I moved to Manchester is because we wanted it to be diverse.
yeah.
And
100%.
sometimes in the areas where the house is a bit cheaper or it's a bit further out, it's not as diverse like the cities.
I think Bradford is diverse.
Okay.
Like in terms of when I've trained people, they're from
Yeah.
every kind of
Yeah.
race. So I think it is diverse. I just think it's the case
Yeah.
of like it's just rough. It's like Brixton. They put
Okay,
an
okay.
equivalent as Brixton
Oh,
before.
okay. Oh,
Not
yeah,
so much
okay,
now.
okay.
Now Brixton is
Yeah.
gentrified or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's
But also
completely
diverse in terms of sexualities and genders and stuff.
different. Don't know about that.
I love going around Manchester and seeing all the gay people. I love it.
Yeah, there's definitely got diversity in that, and Pride is next week, isn't it?
Pride is in a few weeks.
A few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Prices of houses are going up quickly, and if you have the opportunity and you want to do it, put in the hard work, put in the hard time, and buy it. You know,
Like you did, create your vision board.
create a vision board. Oh my god! So I had a vision board. Right, so picture this: we just moved to Manchester. We spent all our money on the rent. We had no money. I wrote down on a piece of paper. I was like, May 2022. And this was December 2021. And I was like, May 2022, buy a house. So 6 months or 5 months.
Yeah, that was.
I had no money.
That's why I was at.
No mortgage. And I was like, yeah, he does it. When I do these, he's like, oh, God, look at her going again.
I'm a bit skeptic.
May the 13th, 2022, we were approved for our mortgage in principle.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like,
So it happens. It does happen.
It does. You just have to put the graft in. But we did put in good graft because by then we knew we were going to be saving the money that we put up front for the rent. So we had an idea of in and around how much we could save.
Yeah, but still, like.
But it's still not
I
guaranteed.
just was like, what month? Okay, let's do May.
Yeah. And it was May that we got the kind
We
of
got the principal. We didn't buy till like October, November, but we got the principal in May, and that's the biggest.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
That's if you need to pass that first.
But shout out to who used
Seb.
us? Seb. Yeah,
Seb, the mortgage guy.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's
Up
good.
in Croydon as
He's
well.
a lovely London
it was
chap.
nice. Yeah, it was nice.
He got us our mortgage within a couple of hours.
Yeah, it was good. Once we got everything to him.
He was like, send me this.
Boom, boom,
Then he called us in the afternoon. It was Friday the 13th,
Friday
guys.
the 13th.
Friday the 13th is lucky for some. Friday the 13th, and he called us. He goes, all right, guys? We're like, yeah. He's like, are you sitting down? You're like, what? It's like, you've been approved.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Shit.
And he goes, and with Nationwide.
Ooh.
And then this is him. What did you say?
It's a big boy bank.
Oh, it's a big boy bank. Nationwide. We've heard of that.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be like, so we've been approved by alleyway.crack.com. They're giving you any amount you want. Nationwide. We were with someone else now, but we had to change. But yeah.
But the second one was quite a big one as well.
Yeah.
Leeds, is it?
Leeds Building Society.
So it's okay. That's
Yeah.
good.
So shout out to Seb. Thanks, mate.
Cheers. So make sure you like and subscribe, guys, so we can kind of get an indication of what you fucking like.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is going to be our first video.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. Yeah, we didn't put the first one up on YouTube, but this one will be the first one up on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you're following us on the podcast or any of the short form video content, TikTok, Instagram, give us a follow. Like the videos that you like, because we'll do more of those. So we know, you know.
Write comments, get involved in our, like, we're trying to create a community. Any of the topics that we've discussed today, loss, grief, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Feel free, and then we can kind of talk a bit more about it, kind of. If you have more kind of relationship issues or kind of, mental health issues, then afterwards we can give that a little kind of discussion, because we've all been through it.
Yeah.
Like, we're a lot older than probably some of the people that are following us.
Excuse me, speak for yourself.
But again, like, we can give you more advice and kind of give you structure, paint a picture. I think that's all we need. That's why we're here, to paint a picture.
Yeah.
And give you kind of a different outlook.
Yeah.
If it's kind of a bit negative. And did you know what? We're not perfect. Like, we go in and out, and there'll be certain things that we discuss that we will kind of mention to you guys. We're open and honest with our relationship and everything else about it. Okay,
question of the week. We're going to do a question of the week, and if you guys put it in the comment section, then we'll read through some of your comments in the next episode.
Any of the videos.
So the question of this week is, how old do you think we both are?
Oh, shit. But if you know us, don't say nothing.
No. But they won't know who knows us anyway. So how old do you think we both are? And we'll read some of the answers out in next week's episode.
That's a bit deep,
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate all the love and all the support you've already given us. Like, it's been amazing, and we're really enjoying doing this. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. We really hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in our next episode.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.